Bonjour class, comment ça va? Welcome to French 2. Today we're going to learn about reflexive verbs. Les verbes réfléchis, those are found in your textbook on page 293. So get your textbook, get your stuff, and let's get started. Bonjour. Today we are going to learn about reflexive verbs, which are just regular verbs that you already know how to use and how to conjugate, but they turn into reflexive verbs when you do it to yourself. So it's like looking at a reflection in the mirror. That reflection is the reflexiveness that I'm looking at myself. Or the first verb we have here, lave, I'm washing myself. Have you all been washing your hands? You're doing that to yourself, so it's a reflexive verb. When you wash your own hair or face, that's also reflexive. When you brush your teeth, you'll start to notice as we learn these reflexive verbs that the things we do to ourselves are mostly tied into our daily routine. The things that we do in the morning to get ready, the things that we do throughout the day, our personal hygiene, getting dressed, doing things for ourselves. So this week you get to take a little me time while you learn your reflexive verbs. Let's do some self-care, starting with the verb lave. Notice when you say I wash myself, you say je me lave. This word me is called the reflexive pronoun. We've already learned the word me before. It means me. And so it's like saying I me wash, but it just means I wash myself. Je me lave. Notice how it's conjugated with the other subject pronouns. Tu te laves. Il se lave. And even though it's not written here, it's also elle se lave. Nous nous lavons. Vous vous lavez. Il se lave. So these are all reflexive verbs because you use the reflexive pronoun. Je me, tu te, il se. Nous nous, vous vous, il se. If you take a look at the conjugation of the verb lave, it's a regular ER verb, and so the endings are something you already know. E-E-S, E-O-N-S, E-Z-E-N-T. So you conjugate the verb just like you would with anything else, except you add that reflexive pronoun. Now, part of the reason that reflexive verbs are so important in French is because they say things a little differently than we do in English. We say I wash my hands, or I wash my face, or my hair. But in French they say I wash myself. Je me lave the hands. I wash myself. Je me lave la figure. And I wash myself. Je me lave les cheveux. So it's a little bit different. And it kind of makes sense if you think about it, because honestly, who else's hands are you going to wash? Unless you're actually a hairdresser, you're probably not going to wash anyone else's hair. So it makes sense to use these in a reflexive way, because these are things we tend to do to ourselves. And the body parts come after. Je me lave les mains. I wash myself the hands. Tu te laves la figure? Did you wash your face? Il se lave les cheveux. He's washing his hair. Vous voyez? In your textbook on 293, there are lots of verbs that also fall under this category of self-care, of reflexive verbs. So we have se réveiller, to wake up. That's like your alarm clock. I don't know if you know the song that they wake up to in the armed forces. Ba 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 la ba 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 la ba 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 la ba ba ba. That's called réveiller, and it literally means the wakey uppy song. So, se réveiller is to wake up. But I know how it goes. You don't always get right out of bed after you wake up. That's what our next verb is. Se lever. Like a lever that finally gets you out of bed. That means to get up or to stand up. First you wake up, se réveiller, then you get up, se lever, then you get dressed, s'habiller. Se promener is to go for a walk, se reposer is to relax, and se coucher is to go to bed. So here we have some good examples of reflexive verbs. Notice they're all regular ER verbs. When you conjugate these, the endings are the same as the ER verbs you know and love, but you add in the reflexive pronouns. Je me lave, je me réveille, je me lève, je m'habille, je me promène, je me repose, je me couche. Voyez? Très bien. Here are some objects, some vocabulary that you can use to say what you do with different things. For example, la brosse à dents, literally the brush of teeth. Okay? That's what you use to brush your teeth. Je me brosse les dents. There's the verb, to brush. Je me brosse les dents avec une brosse à dents. Se brosser, je me brosse les cheveux avec une brosse à cheveux. Le savon, that's soap. Je me lave avec le savon. Un peigne, that's a comb. You could tell, right? Un peigne. Je me peigne. There's the verb down there in the lower left. Je me peigne avec un peigne. Très facile. Un rasoir. Je me rase avec un rasoir. Le rouge à lèvres. Literally red for the lips. Rouge à lèvres. Je me maquille avec le rouge à lèvres. Se maquiller means to put makeup on yourself. Le shampoing. Je me lave les cheveux avec le shampoing. Yes, it's the exact same word. It looks like shampooing in English, but that ing is a nasal sound in French, so it's pronounced le shampoing. Try it. It's fun to say. Le shampoing. Je me lave les cheveux avec le shampoing. Voilà. Et finalement, le dentifrice. Je me brosse les dents avec le dentifrice. Voilà. Study these words, learn them and practice them. They're in your textbook on page 296. And here's basically the exercise I just did with you out loud. So now that you've listened to that part of the video, see if you can do this on your own, just for practice, using that vocabulary. The main practice for you guys, though, besides studying the words and understanding how reflexive verbs come together, is a short translation. I'm not making you do too much this week, kind of a nice light week. Let's take a look at what that translation is. Oop, I'll come back to this. And here it is. So this is your workbook page. It is found in your workbook if you have your workbook at home, but I will also post it on Google Classroom for you. Just make it a little bigger if I can. It's not letting me. Well, hopefully you can see that pretty well in the video, and again, it will be on Google Classroom for you to look at more closely. This is the paragraph about Véronique. This is la routine du matin. So these are the things that she does in the morning to get herself ready. Read through it, maybe annotate it a little bit, underline or circle some of the vocabulary words we just learned. Look and see what she says. If there are words you don't know, that's okay. Circle those. You can come back and look those up in a dictionary or in the back of your book and figure out what it means. And then just in the space below, rewrite this paragraph in English. So what does Véronique do every morning to get ready? And this is a good way to read and recognize the words we learned. And then eventually, this lesson is going to carry over into next week. You saw me skip over this. Eventually, you'll be able to answer those questions about your own daily routine. Normalement, à quelle heure est-ce que tu te lèves? When do you usually get up in the morning? These days, it's a little bit later than usual. Qu'est-ce que tu fais avant l'école? What do you do before school? Like some things you do to get ready, to be prepared. Qu'est-ce que tu fais après l'école? What do you do after school? Or all day, since there is no before and after school in this wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey land we're living in, the quarantine times. À quelle heure est-ce que tu te couches? What time do you go to bed? Once you have practiced the vocabulary and done your translation, come back and take a look at this, which will be in Google Classroom, and see if you can answer those questions about your own daily routine. And we're going to carry this over into next week as well, so we'll have some more practice for you to talk about yourself. All right, those are reflexive verbs. That is our lesson for this week. Enjoy it. Take a little time for some self-care. Think about the things that you do through your daily routine, and are there more things you can do for yourself with reflexive verbs? Always a good idea. À bientôt et au revoir.